Could some of you share the intention of being here tonight? Like what is your intention? What inspired you to register for this course in particular? What in your spirit was like, need that one?
I could feel a shift coming on, and I just feel like with the shift and the transformation, like I know there's something embedded in me that I'm trying to awaken. So I feel like that's what was my calling. Like I felt it. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me tap into this.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
For me personally, it's just time. I've closed out major cycles within the last few months, and it's just time for me to embody this new book, not even chapter. Those past books are closed. This new life is a new book. So it's just time, and I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna second that one. Definitely close out a lot of old things, old patterns, old habits, old everything. Just everything was just old. Energy, everything. So it's just like it felt perfect timing.
Yes. Like it's like I was grieving, letting go of my old self, and now I'm okay letting my old self go.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Love it. Y'all getting deep tonight? Okay. I feel like everybody's collective energy is the same right now. Just like that willingness to surrender and graduate to the new level. Cause like even if you can't really put your finger on what it is specifically, like your soul is leading you. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's time to turn it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I love it. So what to you guys, when you think of like being fully in your power, when you think of being autonomous, what does that look like to you? And if you don't know what it looks like, what does it not look like?
I was definitely talking. I was talking on mute. I don't know why fairy always comes to mind, but I definitely just feel like this glowing being, like my higher self, just being like in tune, in alignment, just in that space of like newness. Mm-hmm. Shifting, always shifting to the higher self. That's what I think of.
I feel it's whole, being complete, being without needing any other input outside of you and source.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah. Which is the same energy as the fairy, right?
Yeah.
Being completely free.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody else? So free, being free. Anything else that comes to mind?
For me, just being, or not, for me, just in the past, feeling like I'm just like this very shy person, mm-hmm. and realizing that I'm not actually shy. My light was just dimmed. Mm-hmm. Just stepping into the magnetism that I know I embody, mm-hmm. is so different. So like, I'm ready to just embrace. I'm ready to embrace that. Like I'm magnetic for it. Like when I want to be low key, I can be low key. But when I want to pop my shit, I don't even have to say anything. I'm popping my shit. It speaks for itself. So I'm ready to like. It's nothing wrong with that. And what I've learned over the past few months, since I've been trying to like embrace that part of myself, mm-hmm. it's very intimidating to people, especially for me in dating. And that also lets me see like everybody cannot go where you're trying to elevate to. They either step it up or they get left behind. And I have to be okay with that because I'm also very tender and my heart is very tender. So I'm always trying to bring people up with me, but that I'm learning that that's not my assignment. My assignment is me. And I can teach people how I got to this point, but it's not my assignment to pull them up with me.
Thanks.
So that was a hard one for me to learn.
Yes.
It was hard for me to learn because I'm always like, girl, come on. I don't want to be by myself. But it's like every time I reach a new level, there's somebody or people there that meet me at that level versus the people that I'm struggling to pull up with me. It's like me trying to embrace my divine feminine power. I don't have to fight for what my soul desires. When I'm fighting, it lowers my vibration and I'm learning to let go. Maybe I'll meet you next phase, maybe I won't, but I love you.
I'm so happy that you brought it up. What'd you say, Goddess?
No, I'm just gassing Ajane.
Girl, a long way then, girl.
Everything she said resonated. I'm just looking over here like, you said everything I was feeling and going through and about to go through. So it's kind of surreal.
Alignment. That's what that's called.
What's crazy is that's like the focus of the conversation tonight as well, as far as my notes are concerned. So it just goes to show that like the soul family is in sync. Y'all are in flow. Y'all are in alignment. Like ready for the next chapter in your destiny. Like it's time. Okay. So from what I'm picking up on, especially because you guys literally are the goddess incarnate, sometimes that devotion that you're supposed to have for self ends up being projected outwardly towards everybody that you love so much. And so you're breaking off pieces of yourself every single time because while you're over here still tending to expanding and growing your aura, your auric field, right? Pouring back into yourself, loving yourself as the goddess, remembering who you are as the goddess, because you're more than Mimi, you're more than Brianna. Like this is just your physical avatar, right? But your soul is ancient and you've been doing this for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And every time you incarnate, your memory's wiped out and you follow the steps and you remember your power again. And then you do it again. And you take the goddess with you. You take the people who signed the soul contract before we even got here to do those things with you. That's why certain people will talk your talk and understand it very, very, very well. And then there are people who don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all. It's like a foreign language. And what you have to understand is, as the goddess, you the serious radio up in this bitch. You can reach every single radio station wherever you are, whatever city, whatever state you are. If you want to listen to 92Q in Atlanta, you can do that, right? When you're tapped into source. So this is about owning your power by remembering that you are God walking. You are literally the Holy Spirit, like broke off a piece of itself, placed it into you with a very specific mission, with a very specific calling, with a very specific coding that only you can do the way that it's supposed to be done so that it can actually help the planet. Because what we're experiencing right now, y'all, this is like some biblical stuff. Like this is like the birth of a whole new nation, a new era. Like Holy Spirit is sending more and more of us goddesses here on planet Earth. It's like, okay, let's turn up. At one point, remember, it was really just Jesus, the disciples. It was a small little collective of people who were awakened to Christ consciousness, right? And everybody in the city was like, get these motherfuckers out of here. What are they talking about? Now it's a whole gang of us incarnating onto the planet because it's all hands on deck. All hands on deck. But in order for all hands to be on deck, you have to remember your power. Because the purpose of the game is to trick you. I'm not going to say trick you at your spot because you can never lose what's yours in the first place. Right? But in the same breath, you got to know what belongs to you. So that when the illusions start to come, when the doubt tries to creep in, when you start feeling like the whole imposter syndrome, when you start feeling like you really not that bitch or you really not that powerful or what difference will you make, then you have to remember that's not even, those are not even my thoughts. That is not even real. Like, I'm big goddess, right? I'm big fucking goddess. And if you don't see it, you don't see it, you don't see it, bitch, that's a you problem. Because my people gonna feel me and my people gonna see me. So you can look at me upside the head. You can say what you want to say. You can, oh, who does she think she is? A goddess. Who she thinks she chosen? Who she think that bitch?
That part.
Who are you? Who are you? I hope the same for you, because here's the thing. Me doing my very, 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 very big one in no way is going to stop anybody else from doing their very, 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 very big one as well. As a matter of fact, okay? And when you light the spark for your sisters, whoo, I got chills down my back.
Yes.
When you light the spark for your sisters, this is how we change the world. It's not through protesting and marching and feeling defeated and giving your power away and being afraid of what the future holds or walking in fear or worry. What?
Right.
Are you? I know you fucking lying.
What even is that?
I know. Allergic. Very allergic. Because what? You're literally a walking incarnation of divinity. And here's the thing I need you guys to really understand about this, okay? I really need you to understand this. About 75% of this population is NPC, meaning it's not that they're not human, it's that you know how when you need to plug into something, right? Your battery dying, bitch. I need somebody, can I charge my phone? Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not plugged into source. They can be if they want to, but everybody's soul contract is different. We don't know what people signed up for to experience in this lifetime. We're all on this planet having very different experiences based on our frequency. Okay? That part is very, very important to remember. No matter what is going on around you, you maintain your frequency and you are doing your part as the go-go Power Rangers, okay, to usher in heaven on earth. And when you maintain your frequency, it may piss a lot of people off. And the reason why it pisses some people off is because you're shattering their illusions of what they think is real. And if that's their entire identity and that's all they've identified with, and you're going to come in here and shake the shit up, you got to go. You got to go. Because I don't like how you trigger, you know what I'm saying? You ruffling my feathers. Again, this is the ego protecting the soul, protecting, right? The soul, when really, again, everybody's on their journey. Sometimes your mere existence is going to trigger people who are disconnected from source. You shining in your light, you being in your power, it may trigger people who are disconnected from source because they know that the unapologetic energy that you're embodying, they don't have the courage and the heart and the gumption to do right now. And you're shining a light on their demons when you shine super bright. But that's okay. Because whether I'm triggering the fuck out of you or empowering you, both times I'm doing my job. Because we are what? Shining light in the shadow. Okay? That is why doing your big one and popping your shit is literally the spiritual work. It's one of the biggest components to the spiritual work. It's actually a very big disservice to God to play small. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really think of it in the grand scheme of things, it's like, who does this serve? Because it doesn't serve the people who are triggered if they're just existing in their comfort. Sometimes people need to see new ways of being and existing to know what's possible for them, right? So it doesn't help them, and it damn sure is not helping yourself because you're just slowing yourself down on your own mission, right? It's like the biggest piece of advice I could take from you, that's why inner child work is so important. Because who you were as a child before the world told you who you should be, that's your higher self. I'm going to say that again. Who you were as a child before the world told you who you should be, that was your higher self. Let me give you an example. You see a child in a restaurant, right? They having a blast. The little baby ain't hurt nobody. They on the dancing on the table, right? They turning up. It's music going. It's music going. Y'all done gave me two things of juice. I'm feeling good. I'm with my family. I'm finna dance on the table.
I'm teed up.
And then what would somebody say? Get down. Get down. Get off the table. You don't act like that. Somebody teach them how to act. Teach them how to behave. So over time, you keep hearing the same things over and over and over again. Your subconscious, your superconscious, which is God consciousness, right, now becomes inundated with all this false information until you've pushed your higher self so far down that now only your instincts to survive are on display. That's why you shrink. That's why you play small. That's why you people please. That's why you don't do too much. You see what I'm saying? So really nurturing and tending to the inner child and connecting, like, what were we like? What were we like? And what can we do to channel that now? This is actually the pure embodiment of dark feminine energy, which is the next point that I want to get to, because there are different types of goddesses and different archetypes, and all of them are necessary. But this group in particular, we're dark feminine. Okay? Dark feminine is really the energy of the black cat. I don't know if y'all got no cat, but baby, I'm in love. Okay? My cat Quita, that's my baby. Everybody know about Quita. Okay? And when I tell you, she get whatever she want from me, whenever she want, because she love herself so much. Like, I be begging for her time. Like, I'll be rubbing her. I make one wrong move, she gone. As she should be, because you need to be still when I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, she leave, I'm like, Quita, come back. Come, please. Please, I love you. That's really the archetype of the dark feminine. Like, the moment I'm inconvenienced, the moment I don't feel good, the moment I feel like somebody's trying to have me shrink or play small, I'm about to switch. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then here's the thing about the black cat. You got to put in work to be around them, baby. You got to put in work. You don't just get to have access to me. I'm enhancing your whole life. Don't come over here with that shit. You know what I mean? And give me my treat too. Thank you. So you have to start operating in that energy. It's not even an entitled energy. It's just like an inner knowing, like, you will have offerings from me, right? And that doesn't necessarily have to be material. Sometimes that can be gratitude, sometimes whatever the case. Like, but it's just like, you will have offerings from me. Like, it doesn't mean that I think that I'm better than anybody. But I know I'm the one and not the two. And I hope the same for you as well. That's it. That's it. And I know what I deserve. And I'm not here for no mediocre ass experiences. I came from and when I say I'm talking about you guys as well, the goddess. Okay? I came from the higher dimensions to come help y'all. Okay? To come help y'all. Because it's not ghetto like this where the goddess is from. We got fruit bearing trees. We got waterfalls. Everybody's walking around nude, not giving a fuck, fully in their power. Men are our servants. Don't come over here with that raggedy shit, okay? Seriously, you're welcome. And again, it's not even like ego. It's just like, this is really the truth. And so when you have that inner knowing, that's how the world is going to be reflected back to you. Like, I really get treated like royalty everywhere I go, because that's what I feel like. I expect that because, and I'm cool. We gonna kiki. We gonna have a good time. You know what I'm saying? How your mama and them? But at the same time, okay, let's keep it cute. And so it's really important to walk with the inner knowing, because the more you remember that about yourself, the more you will continue to align with those type of experiences and then permanently change your reality for good. There will be no wavering. There will be no going back and forth. It's like, if you understand that you are God consciousness cloaked in this human vessel, that means that the same way God said, let there be light, and there was light, that means whatever you command, declare, and decree in the holy name, it is done. But you're not hoping. You're not begging. You're not pleading. You're commanding. Abracadabra.
Period.
I'm an extension of God. What I say is done. Period. We're not talking about it anymore. Okay? So, back to the NPCs. Again, 75% of this population is a non-playable character, meaning they are programmed to keep you a part of the loop, a part of the game, and they don't even know it. Their consciousness has been hijacked. It doesn't mean anything's wrong, right? It just means, like, in this lifetime, some people don't want to awaken. Everybody's soul wants to split things up however we was raggedy in a lifetime. We wasn't doing this. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's no judgment. It's just like, okay, this is just where you are. But I can't allow your literally NPCs are like programmed, like remember when we used to have MySpace, y'all, and we used to do like the coding, like for our MySpace? Are we all the same age? I feel like everybody in the same age group, right? Because y'all looking like, okay, y'all had the rain and the letters falling down, right? Yeah, okay. I know my page was easy. But anyway, we had the coding on the back end, so that even though you didn't see the coding on the MySpace page, everything was happening on the back end to produce the results that we got on our MySpace page. It's the same with people who are NPCs. They're coded to respond and react a certain way to your power. They're coded to keep you in a space of thinking that, like, you're just a regular person, and that's that on that, and like, don't be doing too much. So with 75% of the population being NPCs, it doesn't make sense to try to drag people with you who are not on that frequency, because 9 times out of 10 they may be an NPC. Sometimes, especially when you have a very big mission, the enemy, which I hate to get, because it's like, don't none of y'all hoes really matter. Like, ain't none of y'all got real power over, you know what I'm saying? But the little energies, right, that like are assigned to try to keep you, or whatever the case, they may sometimes try to send distractions through loved ones, right? People that you actually value and care about. So with that understanding, a lot of your biggest wounds have come from people that you loved and trusted. That's a big part of the program that you have to release as well. Understanding that somebody else's words and thoughts and actions are just a reflection of their consciousness, and not necessarily of how they value you or the value that you hold. Somebody dogging you out, mistreating you, it doesn't mean that you're not valuable. It doesn't mean that you're not the goddess. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that you tolerated it. And that's okay, because we don't judge ourselves, but we're not going to do that shit again. You see what I mean? So it goes from understanding that your consciousness goes beyond this 3D realm. Okay? This is the dream. This is actually the dream. That is why everything that you think over time, whether you like it or not, don't it end up materializing? Worries that you had that weren't even real, you done brought to the physical. It's like, girl, you are a magician. For real. For real. For better or worse. Okay? So once you get control over your thoughts, it's a wrap. And the way you get control of your thoughts is by mastering your self-concept. And the way that you master your self-concept is by connecting deeply with your inner child and remembering who the fuck you are. Not who you've been pretending to be, not who you think you are, but who you really are. When you tap into that energy, you are an unstoppable force. And everything will yield and will to you like magic. You don't have to even chase it. You don't even have to beg for it. You barely even got to demand it. It's going to literally cling to you like a magnet because you're now a vibrational match. The highest vibration, everybody says, oh, love is the highest vibration, which is up there. But there's one more frequency above love, and it's authenticity, because your authentic self is love. Because your authentic self is perfect. And you're made in God's likeness and image when you're being yourself, when you're not being fake as fuck, when you're not being performative, when you're not dimming yourself down, right? When you're not doing what you think you're supposed to do. No, when you just being your raw, like authentic self, that is the highest frequency. And because there's so many miracles with your name on it, you have to be the authentic version of yourself so that they can come to you. Because if you're operating in an unfamiliar energy from the one that God coded you with in the first place, your blessings will still come, but it's like a reroute. Like, think about your package being delivered to the wrong address because you being fake. They're like, who this? Who is this? Are you sure this the right house? Because this is not what her contract says. This is not what her soul is saying. Like, are you sure we're supposed to get this to her? You see what I mean? So it's like there's superpowers in just not giving a fuck. And sometimes not giving a fuck means that you're going to be really far ahead of the curve. But it's important to show people how it's done. Okay? Let me get some water. I want to talk about divine feminine power real quick. Going back to the goddess. I think it's funny. I saw like this clip. You know, I'm not into politics. I really don't give a fuck. And I'm not saying that I don't care about the future of our collective, but that's just not my ministry. That it's part of the Matrix programming. It's all, you know, it's theatrics, okay? All the world is a stage. But, you know, on some local levels and stuff like that, you know, voting can help. So if those are your beliefs, it's no shade. We are, amen. Anyway, so my mama, she be into it. I'm talking about stress, okay? She be stressed, and she done cussed me out, okay? So I don't pay her no mind because I understand, you know, she was pissed. I was like, Mom, I love you, but I'm not voting. I cannot do that because it's not just like, oh, I'm going to vote because I love you. Like, I'm casting my energy in something that I don't subscribe to. And that is telling the universe that I deserve to experience things that I really don't want to fucking experience. Like, at what point are we going to stop voting for the lesser of two evils? At what point are we going to stop just accepting shit we don't want? It's the same in your relationships as well. If you dealing with a fuck nigga, cut him off today, not tomorrow, but today. Okay? Because what happens is if you think about your soul and your aura as a computer hard drive or even an iPhone, right? When you got too much data on your iPhone, you can't renew it to the newest features. You can't get some of the because you got too much on your phone. You got to clear some data so you can get the upgrade. You got to clear some data so the hardware can function the way that it's supposed to. It's lagging, it's moving slow because you got too much data. It's the same with your aura. If you're holding on to things, people, traumas, just shit that's old that doesn't serve you, it's clouding up your servers, goddess. And we got to make space for the newness. And so you got to start looking at life like from your higher perspective, not as your ego. You're not the things that you've been through. You're not your traumas. Those were stepping stones for you to remember your power, but it's not your identity. And you need to let it go. Like when I see people have like Black women or like trans and proud or like gay pride in their bio, it's like, okay, but who are you? Besides all these titles, like, who are you? So be mindful of not falling into that trap, falling into that loop, and just continuing to shed. Have grace, but you got to be real with yourself about the shit you're holding on to. And you don't have to be hard on yourself about it. Right? Because when we're dealing with our inner child, we're going to nurse ourselves the same way we will do our children. I'm not going to talk crazy to my child when he's mastering something. I'm going to nurture him through it. It's the same with you. You're going to nurture yourself through it, but be real about your shadows so that you can eradicate them completely. We're not holding on to them. You're just observing them and Xing them out. You know how you got a bunch of apps open in your phone? That's it. You're the goddess. You don't have to do all the therapy and all this shit. Okay, you clear it from your data. You clear it from your DNA. You could talk about it if you need to. But remembering, when you continue to tell the same story, you continue to experience the same story. Okay? All right. So yeah, as the divine feminine, use that power. The divine feminine power is one of those type of things where it's so the opposite from the masculine, because it's not connected to like working hard or proving your worth or doing things to get momentum. It's about being in this energy of effortless ease and expectation and knowing that it's already here. It's already yours. Women have started wars, okay, just from being in their feminine power. Like, it goes back to what I was talking about with the Trump thing. So my mom was pissed about it anyway. When Trump won, this guy came on. Y'all might have seen him. He's this little white dude. He was like, women, we have rights to your reproductive system now. Like, how does it feel to not be empowered? Like, he was just so fucking corny. Like, it was funny. And I was laughing, and my mom was really upset because she was like, do not laugh at this. This is serious. They're trying to take away women's rights. They're trying to exploit, da 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 da. And I was like, there's no man alive that can interfere with what the divine feminine is finna come through with. Good luck, bitch. Good luck. And if I was them, I would be scared too.
Mm-hmm.
I would be scared too, because the goddess is rising.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't finna let no motherfucking, you can't, what? The thing is, whether abortions are legal or not, we got herbs for that.
Okay.
Okay? We got a solution to every little problem y'all try to swing at us. We are the goddess.
Period.
What are you talking about? Get on your fucking knees right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. And apologize. And I may think about giving you mercy and grace, because the universe gonna deal with your ass. The universe gonna deal with all of y'all. Some of the most successful civilizations were matriarchal societies where women were in power. And it's about to happen again. So we need you in your power, because we're leading the revolution. Behind every successful man was a woman in his ear telling him what the fuck to do. So be in your power, because that's your medicine for this collective. Do we have any questions? Okay. I want to give you a few examples of what dark feminine power looks like and how to use it to your advantage. When I say dark, that doesn't mean evil. You think about the womb, everything comes from the dark, right? In the womb, when you plant a seed, right? It's in the dark so that it can rise to the light. So the dark feminine is the way maker. We are the torch bearers. We are leading the path for everybody, because we're showing people what it's like to be fully autonomous. Fuck the rules. Who cares? What are you talking about? I don't follow no rules. Now, we live in integrity. We do the right thing. We treat people with love and respect, right? We apply the universal rules, the universal laws, the golden laws, because we're operating from our heart space. But there's no man that can govern a free sovereign being. I don't care who you are. There'll always be exceptions to the rule when it comes to me. There'll always be the exceptions to the rule when it comes to the goddess. Period. I don't care what that sign say. I don't care what that. I don't give a damn what. I don't care. Okay. So when you really are operating in that power and in that knowing, again, you're building your life brick by brick, because this is the life that you're here to experience, and this is how you usher in heaven on earth. Some examples of women in their dark feminine power. I'll give you 2 examples, some who have been demonized and then some who are like praised for it, okay? Meg the Stallion is in her dark feminine power, but she is from a very wounded place. So it's very physical and sexual, which is sexual energy is nothing wrong with that, because like it's creative life force energy. But when you're using it solely to get what you want, is from a wounded perspective. That's why she's been demonized so bad. Okay. An example of a goddess in her dark feminine power who just don't give a fuck, and therefore nobody else gives a fuck, is Rihanna. Don't know, like, it's just like, okay. Because if you really don't give a fuck, nobody else will. Every time you experience any type of rejection and anything like that, even though it's kind of difficult to understand and accept, it's a projection of your inner thoughts and how you really feel. When you experience criticism, rejection, anything like that, it's an opportunity to really scan the subconscious and see where this program is coming from so we can spot it and change that shit. That's why Rihanna don't really get that type of backlash. Even with me, I be on TikTok saying some off the wall shit. Like, I do not give a fuck. And nobody bothers me ever. Y'all be like, that's just Paige. Like, you know what I'm like? She might come out with a rap video. We don't know what we're going to get from Paige, but that's just Paige. That's how it should be. Fully in your power means not being connected to the concerns of other people. Okay? All right. Do y'all need any... What do you need? What do you need right now? I kind of went over everything I wanted to talk about as far as what being in your power is, what it looks like, how to connect to that, what to do to honor that, and what to do to align with and stay on this higher timeline. Because you guys, we are really the new earth leaders. Do you have any questions? Do you need any additional tools? Are you clear on the path to take to start walking more fully in your autonomous power?
Can I share something?
Please.
Okay, so I would say like when I was working like doing inner child work, I think I got on like you get downloads of like what you should be doing. You can like you know yourself. I guess you start to remember. But what helped me the most was asking my siblings, like, how did I used to be? Like, what did you remember about my childlike thing? And I think that helped me a lot. Like, it like catapulted a lot of the work out, or like timeline jumping, because I usually don't incorporate my siblings and stuff like in the work that I do separately because of what the stigma is, I guess. I just don't. But actually incorporating them in my journey and asking, like, what did you see me as a child, or what that energy was, it really like confirmed a lot of things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. And as you were saying that, what streamed through my consciousness is couple that with like, what are things even presently? Maybe you don't have siblings or you don't have anybody you can ask, right? What are things presently that you would do if nobody were watching? Because that's who you really are. Like, y'all, if I got my headphones on, I'm at the store, I will just start dancing. This my world. I don't give a fuck. I like this song. Who gonna stop me? This is all a hologram anyway. It's not that deep. Have a little fun, right? So think about that. Like, if I really didn't give a fuck and nobody was watching me right now, what would I do? Then do it. And keep doing it. And keep doing it. And keep doing it. because that is reprogramming your subconscious. And then you're going to get so comfortable in that reality that you're going to stay there.
If I saw you in the store doing that, I would be so impressed and intrigued by the confidence and be like, damn, I wish I could do that.
You know why? Because your spirit is telling you that that's what's next for you. Anytime it's like that's how you know what's on the way for you. You see what I mean? Like for me, when I be seeing guys just hop out of that G-Wagon, like just, just ice the fuck out, rich as fuck, I'm like, sis, I'm just a few times behind you, baby. Please keep doing your big one. I want to see it. Like, I need to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking with that. So that's a good space to be in. And that's another really good way to know what's coming in next for you. When you see another guy that's popping her shit, how does it make you feel? If you feel insecure, if you feel like, then check that. Right? And don't judge yourself. It's just like, okay, hold on. Why were we feeling away? I remember back in 2020, there was this girl that I was following. And it got to a point where I loved her messages, but she was pissing me off. And she was pissing me off because she was so fucking chipper. And I didn't understand how somebody could be that chipper all the time. But really, I was just projecting because now I be hype and chipper as fuck. Okay. But I needed to see that because it was exposing my shadows. Like, okay, but why? Like, she's just happy. Like, why? Girl. You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention to the feelings that come up, either whether you realize that you are in alignment with what's next or you realize, like, okay, I see where I've been repelling that energy. Both are like amazing experiences and they're going to get you to the place that you need to be. Anything else, Queen? Okay. Do you feel like you got what you need?
Yes.
Good. I know that's right.
Thank you.
And I want to see y'all throwing ass on the internet. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, first of all, I've been over here trying to talk.
Her down there come out.
I was throwing ass on my story for my birthday.
Happy birthday again,
y'all.
Yes, happy color return.
And I most definitely needed this today because, baby, oh my goodness, I've been in a funk about like just being confident and standing in who I am. But like you just hit everything on the head, like literally, like girl, go then.
Are you listening? Are all of y'all subscribed to the playlist, the Divine Feminine playlist?
I think I got it.
It's in my link in my bio. I would encourage. I've been updating it. But when you going on your walk or when you doing, I encourage list because it's a hot girl playlist, and it made me think about when you were saying like being more confident. You know what I mean, Dad? So like listening to music like that every day that's affirming, but also a bop that'll make you twerk. It's gonna help rewire your consciousness as well. So start incorporating that into your daily routine to continue to up your confidence and keep it there. And also remember, like, because you are the goddess, like, you are here to transmute energy for a living, but that also means that sometimes you absorb people's energy. So if you're around people who are not seeing your reflection, you're going to have to find a way to not be around them as much. You got to be around people who are committed to seeing the divinity in you so that you can continue to see it reflected back at you. Anybody that's not doing that, they got to go. They got to go. Especially if you already questioning yourself. You don't need no another motherfucker in your ear got you quit. What? We gotta clean house. Okay? We gotta clean house. Everybody get up. We gotta clean house. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. But you got this, goddess. I love y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. Like, I
love you too. Thank you so
everybody
much.
pop that shit and do their big one. Okay?
It's up. We up. We up.
I've been trying to say that I'm gonna let the Scorpios have. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and I know you finna pop your shit.
What?
What you say? You finna let us Scorpios do what?
Talking, so I'm like, nobody can hear me. I'm trying to let the Scorpios have a time, but baby, Sag season is loading, and I'm ready to pop my shit. Okay, I'm trying to contain myself. I'm trying to contain myself.
All of these seasons from here on out are so fucking magical. I want to reemphasize this one more time. We are officially, as of today, in the age of Aquarius for the next 20 years. Wow. Everything that y'all saw in the movies, everything that we saw growing up about like how the world will be, we're ushering that shit in now. This is a new timeline. So it went from being in Capricorn, which is all about rules and structure and doing things the right way. Aquarius is the rarest sign of the zodiac. It's the alien sign. Aquarius is the sign that is here to do things differently, shake shit up, and they be ahead of their time. Okay, they'd be ahead of their time. And so the trends, a good example of somebody with Aquarius energy, I'm sure y'all all have Aquarius energy as well. Kanye West, like he was so ahead of his time with everything he was doing fashion wise, everything he was talking about. Everybody laughed at him 4 years ago. Now they're seeing that everything he's been saying is true. Okay, so with the age of Aquarius, expect the most unexpected things in the most miraculous ways. We get to redefine the rules. We get to rewrite this shit. Make sure your legacy is one for the motherfucking books, okay? All right.